video from Megs space here at Belmont. It's pretty amazing to be in this space, and whether you're watching this in the Newcastle area, thinking about coming along to one of these classes, or maybe even just doing this practice online anywhere, I appreciate you jumping on. This will be a 20-minute yin yoga for bed. So if you've had a really big day or a big week, this little practice is something you can put on before bedtime, anytime. 3 or 4 poses just to help you ease off into sleep, to get a good night's rest. And you're not going to need anything at all. So just quickly before I start this video, it's, what is it now, September the 8th. Megs space, this studio, opens tomorrow, September the 9th. And the concept around Megs space is, it's movement inspired yoga. Our bodies are here to move and to feel good. So this particular studio space will be looking after that by providing playful, creative, slow practices with, I guess, the implementation of movement in these practices also. So having fun, being intuitive, getting in your body, and being playful more than anything. But at night time in this space, there'll be so much more down regulation. So breath work, meditation, yin yoga, and also nervous system regulation, so that we can go about our lives, do what we need to do in the morning, but down regulate at night so you sleep well, look after the basics, and feel good waking up the next day. So if you are curious about finding out about Megs Space and you are in the Newcastle area, you can jump over to megspace.com.au and find everything over there to get started. But if you're joining us on this practice tonight, if you've got a cushion, just grab yourself a cushion, that's all you're going to need. A lot of the practice for yin will be on the floor in an attempt to down-regulate our nervous system, so that you can sleep really well and wake up and feel good the next day. So we're actually going to start our practice just on the ground in a pose called, it's been a really big couple of weeks, I can't even remember the name of the poses, in a pose called supported bridge. So whatever object you're using, whether it be a block, a bolster or a cushion, it's going to go underneath the sacrum. So just lying down into the ground. We'll be here for a couple of minutes. If for whatever reason, this particular pose you might be, sort of experiencing that time of the month on your bleed, or even if you're pregnant, I just recommend just lying on your back and just bending the knees instead without putting the bolster underneath. But if you're coming with me, then we're going to lie down on the ground, lift up through the hips and just sliding the bolster underneath the sacrum. And we want to make sure you're not on the lower back, so just make sure that your bolster is on the flat part of the lower back here. It should feel really nice and comfortable. And we're just going to allow the shoulder heads to open. So allow the front of the shoulders to open, allow the hips to be heavy, bend the knees enough so that the feet are planted on the floor. And all we're going to do here is to stay for a couple of moments. I'm not going to talk a lot through the poses, as it's only a really short practice and we're only going through 2 to 3 shapes tonight. But I am going to guide you through some breath work while you're here. So I'm going to get you to place your hands, one hand just onto your belly and one hand just onto your chest, just to start the practice tonight. I'm going to get you to tune into where your breath is. So I want you to notice straight away what parts of your body are moving when you're breathing. So you might straight away start to notice that the breath might be more in your chest. And you might notice that the breath might be short, might be noticing your exhale longer or shorter than your inhale. I want you to see if you can direct the breath down into the hand that's on the belly. So as you inhale, breathing in through the nose and just feel the belly rise. And as you breathe out through the nose, you feel the belly fall. And just for this first pose, just bringing both hands now down to the belly, just continuing that breath. So breathing in for approximately the count of 3. And breathing out for the count of 5. I want you just to stay with your breathing pattern for another 10 rounds of breath here in this pose. For anyone who feels like it might serve their body, you're very welcome to extend the legs out long. If for whatever reason this doesn't serve your lower back, you feel a bit of tightness or tension in the lower back, just bring your feet back down to the ground where they were and bend the knees. But if not, just allow the femur bones to become heavy and lengthen down the whole front side of the body as you're breathing. And a really nice opportunity just to tune in to the body at this point. Especially in yin, it's so easy for the mind to travel forward into like the week ahead, you know, what emails we've got to get done, things we need to fix, things we need to do. Or potentially even back into, you know, should have, could have, would have into the week before. And just as you stay here with your breath, just come back to your body, just come back to the inhale. And then stay present with the exhale and just notice how the exhale softens you. Notice how when you breathe out, the body yields, it lets go, there's this surrender, there's a softening of the body. We'll take another 5 rounds of breath here. So simply in through the nose, breathing in for the count of 3. And out through the nose, breathing out for the count of 5. For this shorter practice tonight, I'll get you to take one more full round of breath in. Stay for the exhale. If your legs are extended, just rebend into the knees, plant the soles of the feet onto the ground. Just elevate through the hips for a moment and just move the bolster out to the sides, and we're just going to take a few moments here just to pause. You know, yin yoga especially is not about working through the muscles. We have many other practices that work through that, you know, practices where we come in and we do, or we're busy and we move fast. Yin is the complete opposite. And we work with the fascia, the connective tissue, and also the joints and the nervous system. By slowing down and connecting with your breathing, you're actually communicating to your autonomic nervous system that you're now safe. And the body can return back to its ventral state just by breathing. So take one more breath in. And stay for the exhale. Right, we're going to just roll to one side and come up for our next shape. We're actually going to come into a forward fold. When we come into the forward fold, it's really important to know that we're not reaching for any destination in the forward fold, as opposed to like a yang or a more vinyasa style practice where it would be active. These forward folds in yin are really, really passive, and our spines love to move, especially in this space here, Megs space. I'm really, really big on helping our bodies get off our phones and get out of chairs. You know, we kind of become accustomed to looking like that when we practice it day in and day out, you know. So especially in yin, we want to find space in the body. So I'm going to invite in a wide-legged forward fold. So when we're coming to the wide-legged forward fold, again, I'm not active at all in my legs, and we're not forcing anything. So I remember when I first came to yin, my forward fold was probably about here. There was no chance I was forward folding because I just couldn't. I was too tight in my hips, and I held a lot of tension in my body. So wherever you land is perfect in yin. These guys are your friends in yin, so remember, you can just bring the bolster into your chest or the pillows or whatever it is you're leaning onto, and just allow yourself to just fold forward. So just let your head rest if that's you. If do you have a little bit more flexibility to the inner thighs or the greens, the bolster might come down to the ground, you might double it over and support, or place the forearms down. And we're just going to take a couple of minutes here in a forward fold. As you come down into the forward fold, I want you to be mindful of what I call the armor, these guys here. So if you've come down into a forward fold and your armor has just come on and you're like moved into tension and your face is just scrunched up, it's highly likely you've gone too far. So I'm going to invite you to back it off a little bit. So really relax through the upper trapezius, the neck muscles and the jaw. Soften your face and then just allow yourself to come into your version of a forward fold. So I personally like to just let my head hang, but if you'd like to support your head with your hands, you're welcome to just let your body land there. So once again, I'm going to just drop into a few rounds of breathing here. I invite you to do the same. This time when you're breathing, I'm going to invite you on your exhale to soften on every breath out. So as you inhale, I'm going to invite you to breathe in through the nose, feel the belly rise. But as you breathe out, I want you to focus on a part of your body, such as your eyebrows or your face or your jaw, and let it soften. So following that breath pattern now, take an inhale through the nose, belly rises. And as you exhale, exhale through the nose and just soften a part of your body and we stay. If you do happen to notice the mind wander, and it's so normal in yin for this to happen because we slow down, we stop, we pause. So we start to experience the monkey mind. The mind becomes noisy or messy. We, experience conversations in our head, and that's so normal in yin. So our job is not to attach to that, to not give it attention, but just to come back to the body again, come back to noticing your exhale. And as you breathe out, even just saying the words, I know I'm breathing out, lands you back here. Each time that you breathe out again, you communicate to your body that you're safe, you're able to relax, you're able to pause. So in these last, say, 6 to 8 breaths or so, give yourself permission to just fully let go. Let the arm come off. Let the face become soft. And just let the body yield. Anytime if it feels too much in the shape that you're in, just back it off a bit, come up a little higher. Again, the yin is the opposite to the world out there. It is the opposite to the push and the doing, the striving. It's wherever you've landed is perfect. Again, if for whatever reason, again, you can pause this video, you can stay for another minute or two if you wish, if you like the time. For this short video tonight, we are just going to take one more breath in through the nose, belly rises, and just stay and yield on the exhale. It's really important as we come out of this to protect the lower back. So I'm going to get you to pull your belly button in towards your backbone. Keep the chin in towards the chest. Use the strength of your arms to slowly press up as you just restack the spine. Just take a moment here in the body in a relatively neutral position. And we're going to come down to our final pose before Shavasana. We're going to come to an inversion. So as we come down to our inversion, there's a couple of ways to do this. I'm going to put the bolster underneath my sacrum. You don't have to. But for me, it actually feels quite nice. And we're going to float the legs in the air. Now, if you have the advantage of having a wall behind you, then you're very welcome to put your legs up the wall and come into waterfall pose. But as you set this up, it's really similar to what we did before in supported bridge. So finding that place where you feel quite settled and safe and let the legs just float up. And they'll literally stack on top of the hips. There's like no effort here. I'm not flexed. And you might need to like nudge around a little bit to find that place where it feels really comfortable. And this will be our final pose before Shavasana in this particular practice. Again, 3 poses where we're really allowing the body just to settle, be really close to the earth, allow the blood to get to the brain. So we're going to take about 10 breaths here, about 2 minutes in this pose. For some of you, if it feels nice for you, you're welcome to come into a double inversion, which is, again, lifting the arms off but letting the shoulders fully relax. So we don't want to be reaching up towards our toes. The arms are lifted, the legs are lifted, the head is supported, and we're just going to stay here. And the purpose of any inversion, again, is to not only help reset the nervous system, but just allow the whole body to just receive nutrients, receiving oxygenated blood here towards the joints, the tissues, the fascia, and also to the nervous system. So at this point in your practice, just aware of your breath, aware of where you are. Every exhale, allow your body to soften, and we're here for probably about another 8 to 9 breaths. If at any point it feels too much with the hands up, just let them drop down. You might start to notice the heaviness of the legs or even a slight tingling. Just let the body become light. Once again, if this particular pose is just feeling awesome for you, then you're very welcome to stay for another minute or 2. If not, we'll drop down into a little Shavasana before we finish this sequence tonight. So allowing the heels just to drop back down to the bum. Just take a moment here just to let the feet hover. There's no need to move the bolster far. I like to just lift up and roll the bolster underneath my knees, and just to transition into Shavasana from here. Just taking time to let the femur bones just lay open to the hips, let the feet drop wide, turn the palms up. So opening the front of the shoulder capsule, allow the heart to be open, adjust the heads. And just let go of like what's next, let go of like what's unfolding in your week, just for a minute or 2 here. Might be a really nice time and space to just drop into gratitude, like your choice to take 15 or 20 minutes for yourself tonight to just replenish, nourish your cup. Just allow your body to just drop into appreciation as you drop into these final few moments of class. And invite you to bring your hands back to your body, so placing your hands, whether it be on your belly or heart space or both. And just take a moment to actually come home with your hands on your body. You can feel, you connect, you can listen. We have intuition, we have this vehicle that's consistently talking to us all the time. You know, it shows us through things that show up in our bodies when we need to tune in, when we need to stop, when we need to pause, when we need to listen. So I really invite you to take a moment to thank your body for showing up today. To really take a moment with yourself, just like we give so readily to others. Just dive into that gratitude and awe of who you are and say thank you. When you're ready, just allowing your body to stretch and move, to yawn or do whatever it is you need to do to slowly move yourself into a fetal position, just onto your left or your right. And just take a moment there in the fetal position, just onto your sides. And then as you sit up, this might be a nice opportunity to close down your eyes for a moment and just tune in as to how you leave this space. You know, how do you walk out of what you just did, you know? We've just taken 20 minutes, and myself included, to kind of press the reset button, you know? And it's up to us what we do moving forward from this moment. So I just invite you to ask yourself now, how do I walk into my next moment, you know? What is it that I want to see in another person, you know? What does love look like on me? And I really invite you to sit with that and be that. So take a moment to bring your hands to your heart, thanking yourself for this practice. And then just bring, of course, the thumbs towards your third eye, your prefrontal cortex. This amazing area that we have as humans to be able to witness, to observe, you know, to take a breath out, to pause, and of course to choose again. So much gratitude and so much love. Namaste. For those of you that are again and potentially coming to, you know, share it in this space, thank you for giving this a go, for trying this out. If this was new to you, if yoga is new to you, thank you. If you've got any questions, don't be afraid to ask. If this helped you, if you got something out of it, again, let me know. I'd love to hear. But even just taking 10 to 20 minutes at night before you go to bed, just a slight pause, you know, can make a huge difference in how we wake up the next morning. So welcome to Megs Space. It is an absolute honour to share this space with you guys. For any information, I'll pop the Instagram link up in the comments, and I'll also put the website down the bottom. So thank you again and welcome.